think those were more
I don't know what you do.
understandable. I need to throw it to a box. And that, you know, we have partners to use it and, you know what I mean? So I think they're. But I think
So I wish I could have seen it.
Did you see that tutorial
No,
I didn't want to read it. It was against it.
it was, yeah. So it's not.
I didn't see the one I wrote down.
Maybe this is.
Might be. Forget. I knew him, but now it's not.
I don't know where to go. You don't have
Hey, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Wasn't hand delivered.
That does sound like hand delivered.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Do you want?
She asked me, I said,
Oh my gosh. Yes.
yeah. I said, I said, you know, no one's got.
Okay.
She's not, huh?
No, she's.
She's not served on the state.
Madam Clerk, are we good? You good? Are we good? Good, we're good. Sorry for the delay, Madam Chair. It was a lovely break. We're good.
Good evening, folks. I'm Councilwoman Joanne Ryan, calling the Committee on Finance regular meeting to order. It's Tuesday, June 7th. It is 5:42 p.m. Madam Clerk, would you kindly read the roll?
Chairwoman Joanne Ryan,
Present?
Vice Chairwoman Carmen Castillo,
Present.
Councilman Nicolas Narducci,
Yeah.
Councilwoman Helen D'Antoni,
Present.
Councilman James Saber.
Yeah.
We have 5 questions. We have a call.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, could you read item?
Item number 1,
Let the
communication.
record reflect that Councilman, just couldn't hear you. Let the record reflect that we are joined this evening by Councilwoman Rachel Miller.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we also have Ken Chevrolet. Thank you. Please continue, Madam Clerk.
Item number 1, communication from Mayor Jorge O. Elorza dated April 28, 2022. Submitting the tentative agreement by and between the City of Providence, Rhode Island and the Rhode Island Labor District Council on behalf of public employees, Local Union 1033 of the Labor International Union of North America, AFL-CIO, for the period of July 1st, 2022 through June 30, 2025.
Wonderful. Who will be testifying on this matter? Madam Clerk, please swear these folks in.
Please raise your right hands. Do you swear under penalty of? I lost it.
I think it's penalties.
Do you swear under penalty of perjury that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, self you got? I do. Please state your names and titles for the record.
Lawrence Francine, Chief Financial Officer, City of Boston.
Please
Welcome. please make your presentation on this matter.
So, Madam Chair, good evening. As you know, earlier this evening, we testified before the public hearing, and we provided testimony in support of the most recently negotiated local temporary contract. Was before the committee this evening, with a copy of that contract, I believe, including the red line and the fiscal note as prepared by Ms. Silveria and myself, from the finance department. The fiscal note will go through, Ms. Silveria will go through by component. It basically reflects the changes associated with wage, healthcare, and other changes. And, as I had said in my earlier testimony, Madam Chairman, the administration with full support of your consideration for it. With that, I ask that Ms. Silveria have the opportunity to review with you the fiscal note.
Thank you. First, we do not have a red line copy in front of us. You know, if the committee has any issues with that, I'm fine with it.
And
Just wanted to make that clarification.
Madam Chair, we did provide it. I think I have a copy with me. I worked on it with Mr. Coyle and Mr. Echeverry. We did forward it.
I believe they did forward it, Madam Chair. It is on a,
Do we have a copy to the committee?
Yes.
Would you mind? Thank you, thank you. Please continue.
In your package, you have a copy also. of the
Can you speak up? I can't have the video.
Sorry. As part of the exhibit, you also have a copy of the fiscal note, along with the copy of the contract. And I'll go through this fiscal note with you. The parties have negotiated a 3-year contract representing the period of July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2025, with a fiscal impact of $3,262,165 across the city and water supply. The tentative agreement has received unanimous ratification of 1033 membership on March 24th, 2022. Followed by the formal execution of the tentative agreement and signed by the parties on March 29th, 2022. Please note the amended contracts modify the terms of the existing contract, which ends on June 30th, 2022. And then I'll go through the substantive changes. Their healthcare benefit changes, their increases to co-share rates, mandatory employee wellness participation, increased wellness penalties for non-participating employees, and the total savings associated with healthcare initiatives is $2,232,049. Wages and FICA, the city has agreed to a 2.5% salary increase effective July 1st, 2022, with a cost of $1,018,130. A subsequent increase of 2.75%. Effective July 1st, 2023, with a cost of $2,168,170, and a 3% increase effective July 1st, 2024, and final year of the contract, with a cost of $3,273,536. The total increases in wages and FICA equals $6,645,521. The union has agreed that all new hires will receive a wage 15% below the applicable rates for fiscal 23, 24, and 25. This is expected that will save the city $274,251 in fiscal 23, $469,656 in fiscal year 24, and $590,494 in fiscal 25. For a total saving of $1,324,401 over the 3-year contract. Other fringe benefits, the city agrees to increase its contribution to the union health fund. This is expected to cost an additional $173,094 over the 3-year contract. And attached to a more detailed breakdown of the increases attributed to salary, payroll taxes, and savings due to the new hire, wage reduction, and the savings associated with the healthcare changes.
Thank you. Does that conclude your testimony? Okay. Do we have anyone from the union that wishes to speak before the committee, or did you let your public hearing testimony stand?
I would just echo the comments of the public hearing ready, Madam Chair, and say that we believe this is a fair contract for the city and that we support it obviously.
Thank you. Madam Auditor? All the way back there. Have you reviewed the contract? Do you have any questions, concerns?
I haven't, contract and I have no issue.
No issues or concerns? Committee members?
Gotcha.
Councilman?
Can
Councilman Narducci?
can the new highway wage reduction be explained?
So over the last several years, the last two contracts, as a means to assist the administration and the affordability of the contract, there was a provision that any new hire would receive a 15% reduction of the otherwise stated or budget side. And then sure, 4% would be like, so that by the third year of employment, they would receive 100%.
At the, if I may mention, the issue,
Please continue.
one of the issues that we're hearing right now, and unfortunately, they don't say anything because they work for the mayor, is from the directors of certain departments and the supervisors of certain departments that right now, that's one of the reasons why they can't get people to come work for the city because of this 15% reduction that has been there for a little while now. Does anybody know, you guys or anybody, know how much this is going to affect the hiring status moving forward? I mean, I can remember years ago that the city jobs were the jobs to get. Now we're getting people telling us that they're not going to work for this city of Providence as a heavy equipment operator making $30 an hour when they can go to Cotty's and make $65 an hour. This is just going to continue to hurt the workforce, I think, of hiring down the road.
So, Madam Chair.
Yes, please.
I'm happy to contest that. So, Councilman, so with due respect to the current conditions of the current workforce, labor pool shortage, where I would agree with that, I can tell you that at the time, the members of the local tentative representation and our own HR department have made that same determination. So going forward, in instances where documentation and demonstrate that critical mass or critical position requires to set that 15% change, I believe it can work out. I believe the party will work out that way. If it's an recruitment issue or retention issue, or an issue that requires some of the licensure credentials, and therefore we could not attract that candidate or hire that candidate because of it. I believe there's the ability for the parties to negotiate or to agree to accept that change. We would offer that, and then we would cover that difference that we would expect in the budget through any attrition that we would see throughout the process.
Is that in the contract?
So.
I believe it's a good faith of the parties, and we have demonstrated that in the past.
Chief,
We've done it, but
Chief, could I just ask the solicitor, please? We had testimony on that same topic. That's a great question. We had testimony in committee on that topic, and it is included, that language that we reference is included in the contract. Solicitor.
I don't know if it's a good contract.
it's not,
Well, how is it reflected?
Mr. Koya and Mr. Echeverry can tell you, and I've been privy to those conversations. Either the union would come to the city or Mr. Echeverry would go to the union to say, in this particular instance, we're unable to attract the candidates for maybe an IT position. And the parties would meet and we would draft an agreement that would allow for essentially the waiving of that provision. So there would be no 15% reduction for someone being hired for that position. We've done it on a number of occasions. And Mr. Koya or Mr. Echeverry can attest to that.
Councilman Narducci.
And I don't see how that's fair across the board. So Nick Narducci applies for the job. You might get the raise, an increase, depending on what you guys decide. What they decide. But if there's an issue with Nick Narducci, even though he deserves that, he's not going to get it. It should be something that should be stated in the contract. It should be a spot in the contract that states this 15%. Not something that's personally agreed with, because 1, 2, 3, 4, we might not be here next year. So who agrees on it then?
I think, and Ron can address this also, I think there's got to be showing that if the position was posted, there's been no candidates, and as a result of no candidates, maybe, and as Larry pointed out, it's a technical position or a licensure position, then the parties would confer. In those instances, if there's a position with 20 applicants, there's no basis to do that.
But again, going back to what I'm trying to say here, okay, I'm not an attorney, but, you know, something like street spots and watch like that. You might have drawn a big pool of people if that 15% was included right from the top. Not worrying about, you know, I just don't think it's fair.
Let's get the union members in. I think that's
I
a great
just don't
point.
think it's fair.
Can you
to
join
the
us at the
union members.
table? Okay. Why don't we, yeah. Let's swear on Mr. Coyle in.
Please raise your hand. Do you swear under penalty of perjury that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and title for the record.
Ronald Coya, Business Manager, Hotel Union 1033.
Thank you. Councilman Nanducci has a question on the table.
Yes.
If you could offer some clarification, appreciate it.
Yes, that provision is in the contract. That provision has been in the contract, I want to say at least 10 years, give or take. And there have been occasions over the years when the city has come to us to say that not with regard to a particular person, but with regard to a particular position or group of positions, that the 15% rules, for lack of a better term, appears to be a detriment to the city's hiring of somebody for the job, and they haven't gotten either a acceptable pool of candidates or qualified pool of candidates. And in those cases, the city has come to us and explained the rationale for waiving the 15% requirement. And in some cases, the union will agree to that if we think that there is validity to the argument. In some cases, quite honestly, we may not, and say that this is what the contract language is. This is what has been negotiated, and this was a city proposal, and for that reason, it stands. But there have been occasions where we have recognized, whether it be the labor market, whether it be the qualifications of the position, or some other reason why either, again, a particular position or a group of positions might require a waiver of that provision. And we've been pretty judicious with regard to that, because again, it is a condition of the contract.
Yes, please continue, Councilman Nanducci.
I guess the question I'm not getting answered from this is, or from this point, from yourself and either Randy. If that 15% was there right from the start, again, I'm just going to use numbers, you might have got 40 people to apply for that position. Rather than that not being there and only getting, say, maybe 4 or 5 people that applied because they see the rate of the pay. And if it's going to be a discussed item, then again, I believe it should be in the contract. Contract's going, this one is for a 3-year contract. Okay, like I said, some of us might not be here in 2023. So then who's going to agree to fulfill what you guys have made a gentleman's agreement, I'll call it, I guess. If they don't fulfill that, at least if it's in the contract, it has to be fulfilled.
So when you say it's in the contract, do you mean a provision that would allow us to waive it?
Yeah,
But I think you can waive any provision in the contract as long as the parties agree to it. I mean, I don't think there's anything in the
yeah,
contract.
but I'd rather see something on paper saying that we have the right to do that.
That provided the union agrees to it. We have the ability now in any contract to waive a provision if the parties are in agreement, and we've done that in other instances.
Yeah, I can give you an example, Councilman. We have a posting provision, for example, that requires a job to be posted for X number of days. There have been occasions where we posted it for the required amount of days under the contract. The city will call me and say, look, we didn't get anybody to apply. We need to extend it another few days. And I would say, okay, given the fact that we can't get anybody, and maybe the possibility would exist that people would apply if we were to extend it, okay, we'll extend it. There's one case, I can't remember exactly, but I think it would have been in IT, where we posted it several times. And I think the last time we posted it for maybe twice the period that the contract permitted, or required, I should say. But that was done by agreement. So to Ken's point, there are occasions where we can, when we recognize a problem, put our heads together, and if we agree, and we don't always agree, it's not, but when we agree, we can resolve it in that fashion. So we can make an amendment to a particular situation. And that's just one off the top of my head. I probably have been others. Probationary period is another example. Under the contract, there is a 180-day probationary period where the city gets to evaluate a new hire and can, during that 180-day period, terminate the employee without cause. And the union would be powerless to grieve it. There have been occasions where I'll get a call on day 179 to say, hey, Joe Schmo, who was labor at DPW, isn't quite making it. We still don't know whether he can make it, but he seems to be a good kid. We'd like to give him a little bit more time. And I will say, sure, because I know that if I don't say that, they'll fire him on day 179. So there have been occasions where we've said, okay, let's do another 30 days. The city will have another opportunity to evaluate the person and either pull the trigger or let him remain a city employee. Another example is the trial period. Under our contract, if you get promoted from position A to position B, there's a 60-day trial period where the city gets to evaluate you and determine whether or not you're cutting the mustard with regard to that position. Again, the city could say on day 58, we think this person has potential, they look okay, but something, there's some things that still concern us. There are things coming up that we know on our calendar that will be the true test of whether the person can do the job. Is it okay we do another 30 days, another 60 days? Again, more times than not, I'll agree, because I know if I don't, the person will be returned to the position that they came from, and there won't be the ability of that person to succeed. And I venture to say in most cases, when we give that extra time, the person makes it through and is able to stay in the position in the case of a trial period or remain with the city in the case of a probation period. So those are just a couple of examples. There are probably some more, but those are the ones I can think of where we've done exactly what Ken has said, where we recognize the problem and addressed it in a way consistent with what
I just like to see something done.
Okay.
I don't feel comfortable.
Do you have any follow-up to offer any further clarification? Okay. Committee members, any other thoughts on this topic? Would you like to weigh in, Councilwoman Anthony?
Well, I have the same question, so that's been answered, but, and this contract is similar to the police and fire contracts in terms of raises and contributions to healthcare and things like that.
In each segment of the contract negotiations are negotiated with mindful of savings associated with healthcare.
Mhm.
And fair and representative wages is offered to the worker.
Thank you.
And Madam Chair, if I may.
Please.
Members of the council, excellent. The adoption of this contract should clear committee and council. This will be the first time I think that all labor groups will have a contract in place prior to the start of next fiscal year, which I herald that as a significant achievement in labor negotiation.
I would agree on that one. Okay. Any other council members, committee members? Any questions, thoughts, concerns? How do we want to, what do we want to do on this? We want to make a motion to approve? What do we want to do?
I make a motion to approve.
And I'll second.
Motion made to approve by Councilman Taylor, seconded by Councilwoman Anthony. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Matter is approved. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm actually going to ask for a recess, short recess. To discuss some other business. So we're just going to stand here.
I don't see it.
Yeah, it's just you, right?
Yeah, it's just you.
No. So I don't know what to do.
Oh, okay. It's so long. Yeah, in high school. So I'm walking out. And then you're maybe Ricky's here.
Of course you can. We can let everyone.
Me?
Could you hang out aside from?
But you
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, yeah. I think it's pretty good. Monday night should work.
That's why I told you. That's 50%.
No.
They might get that $500.
No, I really shouldn't have showed up last week at all. I was on one of those. Yeah. I was so sick. Yeah. Double poison. I had to sleep everything. Sorry, that's first. I don't even think I was there for 24 hours. I was there, no. I was there for a day.
So I remember. My glass slide was all my so I had to go get like.
Yeah, I was like throwing out, but my neighbor had to. Sweet, and I was pretty embarrassed about it.
So you had to go.
No, he drove me.
Yeah.
Yeah, to figure out. I'd love to keep it that way. Right? Isn't that great?
Yeah, because then you would have been some sort of little label.
What kind of weather?
I mean, I was like hours and hours and hours from places. Most of that trip. We went to, and then we went to Ridiculous, which is all the way to Southern, miles and miles from it. So. Say French.
We're all set, Madam Clerk? Okay, just like I have my committee here, we're gonna come back from recess and go back on the record. Madam Clerk, could you read item 2 into the record, please?
Item number 2, an ordinance establishing a tax stabilization agreement by and between the City of Providence, Rhode Island Municipal Corporation, City, and 8 Hewitt Street LLC, Hewitt Street.
Okay, who do we have to present on this matter?
And Madam Chair, we do have a substitution for this matter.
Oh, Yogi. Let's grab that first. Everybody have a copy? Okay, first order of business was to enter the substitution for item 2. May I have that motion made by Councilman Castillo, seconded by Councilman Nantucci, all in favor, aye, any opposed, ayes have it, motion carried. You have a substitution. You missed it.
No.
Okay. We just came out of the public hearing on this matter. We provided testimony. If there's anything else you would like to present, but you're also presenting yourself for questions from the committee at this point. Committee members, would you like to, Jim Lombardi, our treasurer, would you like to?
Madam Chair, may I just offer some amendments?
Sure.
Talk to the applicant. And as you know, go to the last page, they're spending about 2.7 million, so they spent a little bit more, but the threshold is 3 million on a 5-year tax stabilization agreement. So we talked about it, and we thought a 5-year would be better, and I can make those, I can talk through those changes. So it's a 5-year tax stabilization agreement. It was, these documents were either cleared or approved by the solicitor's office. And they have all the requirements, which is, for example, WPP, MVP, Internal Revenue Service, first source, equal employment, Parks and Recreation, monitoring fees, by Providence, apprenticeships, which are part of all these regular PSAs. If we go to the first page, the 2.2, the new language will be in the first sentence. It says, "In terminating on December 31st, 2027 versus 2030." Those are tax years 2022 to 2028, not 2031.
We need to amend to anything else in here?
Yes, just a grid in the back. So you go to Exhibit A. and we'll give you clean copies for the council works on. So we would have two base years. Year 3 would be 20%. Year 4 would be 40%. Year 5 would be 60%. Year 6 would be 80%. And year 7 would be 100% of taxation resumes at full value assessment.
So you're giving us a revised schedule?
And we're removing year 8, 9, 10, and 11. Sorry, Madam Chair.
So do we need to amend this document before this committee right now? Can I be prepared to offer those changes? Yes, okay. All right. So, yes, Councilman Naducci?
So the amended version we just got is what we amended.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay, so, I'm sorry.
May I just go through the remaining of it? Maybe you can accept it in one motion.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank
So
you.
if you go to it's the 10-year projection. Exhibit B should be the last page. So it started off, it says 2022, 2023. Those years don't change. In 2024, it'll be base year plus 20%. 2025 will be base year at 40%. 2026 will be base year at 60%. 2027 is base year plus 80%. And then 2028 will be base year at 100%. Remaining years will drop off.
Are those the last of the changes?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Why don't we amend the document then? First, it's before us. So we have substitution 2, correct? Let's amend, may I have a motion to make the amendments that was offered by the general treasurer? Motion made by Council Vice Chair Castillo, seconded by Councilman Naducci. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. So this item basically came to the table as a 10-year. It's now a 5-year. Okay.
That is correct.
Okay. Very good. So who is going to testify further? Councilwoman Anthony. you
What
have
is
a
the
question?
total savings to the applicant with the amendments?
Please.
What is the savings to the applicant with the amendments, proposed amendment?
I believe I have that number.
Okay.
I can provide that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're-
Who is going to make a presentation on this to the committee?
Madam Chair, I can as well. I would defer without taking too much of your time to the public hearing. And I'm available for any questions. I can repeat some of that, or I know you have a long night, so.
I think we got, we have great testimony. I don't have any questions. This is an opportunity for my committee to ask questions in Councilman Anthony.
How many units are there again?
There are 24 minutes.
And they're all one bedrooms?
Yes.
Thank you.
That actually raises a good point. We need to add the amendments to this. That answers the Councilman Anthony's questions because everything is on the exhibits 2A and 2B that was presented at the public hearing. So let's get a motion to enter 2A into the record for this meeting. Motion made by Councilwoman Castillo, seconded by Councilman Naducci. All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. We have 2A in the record. Same thing, 2B. That was the charts that were presented to us as well. two B. May I have that motion to enter two B into the record?
Second.
Second, made by Vice Chair Castillo, seconded by Councilman Narducci. All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. So we have two A and B, and there's specifics about this TSA M2A, actually. Is there any changes to this based on the substitution that's before us?
There is not.
Okay, all right, great.
May I just say something? Excuse
Councilwoman
me.
Anthony,
Well, we need to know the amount of the taxes being abated. So I mean, that's the TBD under number 6. Really should be answered, I think.
do we have an answer for Councilwoman Anthony? This is an administrative TSA. Is there anyone from the administration that is here to present on this? Is there anyone here that can answer Councilwoman Anthony's question? No.
Hold on.
Thank you. I would be surprised if you didn't. Thank you very much.
We're using approximations, but the savings to the applicant is $208,016.18.
Say that please again.
$208,016.18. We'll get you an exact number.
It's me a
That's an
ballpark.
approximation.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question, Councilwoman? Do you have any other questions?
Thank you.
Are you all set? Okay. Any further testimony on this matter? Any questions, concerns? Mr. Solicitor, have you had the opportunity to review this? And do you have any questions?
I do not have any questions. However, a member of the staff has drafted this revised sub 2, consistent with the typical language that this committee and the council has adopted for TSAs. So as Jim had pointed out, the treasurer, this language is consistent with the requirements that we typically use for TSA. So I have no questions. I have reviewed it with the staff member.
Who is the staff member now? We used to have Mr. Budway.
Mr. Police,
Okay, so he's taken over for,
that's my understanding. He's in the TSA.
could we expect him to provide testimony before this committee going forward?
Absolutely. He had a prior commitment
Okay.
and he will be available.
Okay, I think that's kind of important because he's the one who's drafting these. Again, this is an administrative TSA, so he would have gone through all of the details and been able to answer questions for the committee. Committee members, anyone else have any questions, concerns they would like to voice at this point? Mr. Treasurer, do you have any additional comments?
I do not.
Okay, with that, do I have a motion on this to approve
As amended.
as substituted or as amended?
As amended.
As amended. Motion made by Vice Chair Castillo, seconded by
Second motion.
Councilman Narducci. All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Okay,
Thanks very much.
thank you. Thank you for your presentation, folks, and for your patience. Okay, Madam Clerk, please read item 3 into the record.
Item number 3, an ordinance establishing a tax stabilization agreement for Matilda Mines LLC located at 47 Matilda Street.
Okay.
Madam Chair, we have-
Does everyone have a copy of the substitution presented? Okay, let's get this entered. Vice Chair makes a motion to amend the substitution, seconded by Councilman Narducci. All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. We have a substitution on item 3. Who is here to testify on this matter?
Good evening, Councilman. My name is Josh Berlinski. I'm an attorney with the firm of Darrow Everett LLP, working with my co-counsel Nick Egan, representing the applicant.
Thank you. Can we get this gentleman sworn in?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear under penalty of perjury that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and title for the record again.
Sure. Josh Berlinski, Berlinsky. I'm an attorney with the firm of Darrow.
So we had a public hearing on this matter, Madam Clerk, correct? Some
We
time
have,
ago.
we did some time ago.
4/5/2022. We had testimony in the committee. There was additional work that needed to be done. We asked for additional costing. Mr. Treasurer, have you been able to get the information that we asked for and review it?
Yes, again, this is a document that was used by the law department. Mr. Heeman has approved it. And again, this covers all the bases of NDE, WBE, Internal Revenue Service reporting, first source, equal employment, by Providence initiatives, apprenticeships, Parks and Recreation Fund, and the monitoring. There is one change to this that I spoke to Mr. Heeman about. This, so if you go to the grid on the last page, at 2.8 million, this would be a 5-year TSA, but Mr. Heeman has told me that there were additional costs of $890,000. I asked him if I could add that to this grid. He agreed. And so we're prepared to move forward.
So does this document before us reflect that change?
It does not.
It does not. Are you prepared to offer that amendment?
Yes.
Okay, please
So
do so.
the
Take your time, sir.
So year one, so if you go through the grid on the last page, the exhibit B. Year 1 and year 2 are seen. Year 3 should be 3.749 million 650,000.
650 even? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then each year going down adds that 890,000. Calculate if I can.
Nope.
The overall number savings to the applicant in the document says $672,081.95. I believe it'll be closer to $688,413.45. You will get to that exact number.
So, let's get this amended. Madam Vice Chair, can we get that, make that motion as presented by the treasurer? Motion made by Vice Chair Castillo, seconded by Councilman Narducci. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. So the substitution has been amended. Can we make sure that before this goes any further for a vote, that we get a clean copy for review?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Any other comments on this? Questions? Councilman Anthony, you have your hand
So I
raised.
just want to understand this. So before the additional $890,000, this would basically be a 5-year TSA, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and the $890,000, that, are those itemized costs that we reviewed or someone has reviewed?
So my understanding from the applicant is that those are, that They pulled a permit, they amended their permit to add $890,000 to their permit. So they're paying the fees and costs for the permit.
So it's permit cost of $890. Okay.
So, yeah, additional costs.
It's additional project costs, to bring a testimony to that. That's actually why we didn't move forward with this at the last meeting. This is the matter that Councilwoman Fortune testified so passionately about.
Yep.
And we sent this matter back to do the math again on it. Anyway, Councilwoman Anthony, does that answer your
That's
question? Are you okay?
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller?
Yeah, I have a related question. I guess it's for the auditor. So in the TSA reform that we passed, we designated a process by which various offices could sign off on costs associated. Are you aware of that process happening for this, including this 890?
For this particular TSA?
Mhm.
I believe this TSA was filed originally under the old TSA.
Mhm.
So it doesn't qualify under the new one,
Okay.
and technically that didn't have review, but just the TSA group did still review everything. And I believe taxes are paid, everything's up to date.
DIS signed off on the permit costs. As far as
TSA
I know.
said, on the original,
On the amended?
on the amended, I don't have any notification of that,
Okay.
but I can confirm that tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
What's that, Councilman? So yes, it did go, it's a grandfather into it. It was before we changed the TSA language. Okay, with that, any further questions of the applicant? Do I have a motion to approve
That's amended.
as amended? A motion made by Vice Chair Castillo, seconded by
Second.
Councilman Abducci. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. The matter is approved and moves forward to the council. And Mr. Treasurer, you're going to make sure that we get that amendment in writing to the clerk and before the committees. Okay, seeing there's no further business to come before this honorable body, I'd like to request a motion to adjourn made by Councilwoman Castillo, second by
Second
Councilman
motion.
Abducci. All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Kim, we're good?
Yeah.